Hello. Right. Because I don't want to waste too much time because I've kind of touched upon a lot of the things. So I'll just go through a rundown of the full build as such. Likes and dislikes. Start with the case. I've said it in previous videos, if you've got a normal, again, I'm going to say it, some of these colours don't look right because it's the way the phone does it. Like this is red, but for some reason that's red and that's orange. It's just, you can thank Samsung for their software on how it sees certain colours for some reason. Yeah, if you have an ATX board, this cable will probably end up going about there. So no matter what cable for your 24 pin comes through here, it'll be fine. The issue starts when you've got an extended board, like I have. You can flip this, which I have done, which gives you about that much extra room. If you have soft cables, that extra room is a big help. This is the soft one which I got hold of and put on there. It's just a cheap thing, but it works great. Quality film's really good and they're very flexible. If you're using stiff cables, that will be a nightmare. If you've got an extended board, ATX, you're going to be okay. Extended, you're going to have problems. I didn't bother changing these top two just because there's not a whole load of room at the back of this case to do cable management. Some people might be able to do amazing things with it, but I'll touch upon that in a minute. But I think they need a bit more space back there. So I've just left them as the standard ones. Can't really see them anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. Space for water cooler and everything, yeah, you'll be able to do top, bottom, side, radiators. There is the possibility as well, because there's so much space on here. I'm not sure why, unless they develop one which is extremely like high on efficiency. You could put just a small rad on here as well, and literally have everything else free. But obviously the CPU wouldn't have to be like a high-end one, or there's going to have to be some kind of undervolting or something, because that size probably wouldn't do for a high-end CPU. Bomb tray, you'll have seen on other reviews, it flips, so you can actually flip it, so these fans will actually be more an angle if you want to show them off, or if you want more so to blow warm air towards the glass and then up and around. I think it's probably going to be more for looks than anything. I have these are the reverse ones. These are on intake, so they're feeding this, pushing upwards and then out through the AIO and out through the back. These are on a set speed where they're just constantly running like a slow speed, and they're just pulling in a little bit of air as well. As to the rear of the case, it's got like the cable tie things and stuff. It is what it is. It's handy. It's not bad. And then you've got like a door which closes in and everything to give you like a nice finish, which is it's not bad. If you're doing a lot of things where you have to be in and out the back of your case, say plugging in USBs or something for some reason, that might be a bit lost on you. But if your PC is kind of one and done and you don't need to touch it very often, then you could leave that shut, and it gives it a nice finish. It takes the vertical mounts fine. That's the Easy DIY PCIe 4. That one's okay. What else did I come across? For anyone who's installing this one as well, it might vary from case to case, but I had problems getting this one in line, and what it was the fact that when I had to push it upwards, I really had to push it upwards. It was very stiff, because at first it wasn't connecting and this wasn't lighting up, but it got there in the end. But yeah, that's really nice, I can say. It's a shame it doesn't pick up the colours right, but yeah. The hub. The hub's really good. It works fine. There's loads of things to choose from. I've been messing about with so many different colours and things. I'm still not set on what I'm going for, but it's not one where you're left thinking, oh, I wish it could do that, I wish it could do that. It pretty much does everything, whether it be like breathing, these weird colours, you can speed these up, you can change all the different colours, you can have standard set ones. It's a good hub. The only thing, it's not just against Phanteks as well, it's against any other company, is I don't like it when they do the priority connections on their own fans. They do give you the connectors with the fans, so you can just plug it into your motherboard or like a USB, ARGB hub and stuff like that, the 3-pin ones. But I prefer it if they actually, if the companies would just have a set standard, so we didn't have to have different adapters for different things. It does kind of like nudge you gently in the way of like, you've bought the case and hey, why don't you get the fans? So they're not the only ones, there's other companies that do that. Obviously Corsair is probably the major one that does that, where they have their silly connectors and you kind of have to buy into the Corsair ecosystem. What else? Tops, simple enough. The glass that they use is a decent thickness, it's thick, it feels like a good quality as well for the front and side. The filter, there's filter that goes underneath this one. It's just a slide out but from the opposite side. That seems okay. The holes are quite big on it, so that there's plenty of air that perforates through. Trying to think anything else I may have missed. My main thing really, as I say, is the fact that behind the back of here you can't get to the back. I mean, I've changed this around now so it's not so much of an issue, but if you have an AIO on the side with the Lee, you could actually get to the back of that and you could clean it out without having to take everything out. But where I had this, the AIO before, until I've moved it up top, I would literally have to remove this fan, remove the GPU, pull this forward, clean the radiator, push it back, and yeah, I'm kind of happy I've moved it, because that would have been a pain to keep doing that. The only other thing which I would prefer, but I mean some people will just probably say that there's enough space and what you want about. I would like the case to have been maybe half an inch thicker, or an inch even thicker. Well, probably half an inch would have probably done, just to give a little bit more room at the back for cable management. If you're using custom cables, set lengths, soft cables, you've got a custom, say a fully moddable PSU like I do, but they come with like the nice soft cables, it's not going to be a problem. But for anyone using stiff cables, or for anyone who's using the the extenders, there's more of a problem with them, because where the extenders plug onto each other, they clip onto each other, that's a hard piece of plastic, and like the 24 pin, it's a big piece of plastic, and that doesn't squash down, it doesn't rotate very easy. So trying to fit it onto the back of your PC for cable management, and then you've got all, obviously if you're going to do the GPU ones and the CPU ones, stuff like that, those hard bits of plastic are a bit bulky and a bit hard to try and cable management with. You don't have them if you've just got a cable that goes straight from the PSU straight to the motherboard or the GPU. So anyone using extensions, it's a bit problematic as well. So I would have liked just a little bit more room at the back just for the cable management, just because not everybody's using the ideal cables, not everybody's using the ideal custom cut to length kind of ones as it were as well. So I think the back could have done with a little bit extra room myself. I would have put up with a slightly wider case, but as I say, there'll be people out there that can probably fit whatever and ever into there, but for somebody who doesn't want to spend way too long going by millimeter perfecting it, as I say, a bit more space would have done. And I'd say I'm judging this on the Lian Li Dynamic XL. I mean, that's my kind of gold standard. So this is equal to the Lian Li XL in quite a lot of ways. It's not as user friendly for building, I don't think. That's purely because I think the cable management's easier in the XL. It's easier to clean the XL. This is better for probably on the looks, temperature, obviously the extra height, so things can breathing a bit easier, and probably the whole customizable side. You can do a lot more with this purely because of the room that you have. So they're very close to each other. Both of them are, you know, like on the high end of kind of your list of must-buys. But I would probably go slightly towards this one, just because, like I say, it's new. These fans are amazing, and I like the looks of it and everything else. It does look like the next level up from the Lian Li XL. As for these fans, you're never going to get perfect fans, but they're pretty damn close. The only thing taking these from perfection is two things. One, we always want quieter fans, so you're never going to get a 10. Even the Noctuas and stuff like that, whatever they might be for, you know, like quietness and stuff like that, but looks, they fail on that kind of area, so you're never going to get the perfect fan. So I would say with these, my only gripes is the connector. When you daisy chain, it tells you it has to go into one particular side, and I think some people already on Reddit have run into problems where they think maybe the fans are defected, but it's not. They have to go onto a certain side, even though both sides look identical with these kind of gold pins what you plug onto. They're not. There's a few millimeters difference, and it stops you from actually putting on the power cable correctly. And at first I was trying to do it and I just could not get it to fit, and I thought, oh my god, I've got the defected ones as well. And it wasn't until I actually looked at the sign properly, and it was like, they really want you to stick it on this side for some reason. So I clipped it on and it works fine. Now they do cover themselves by putting this sticker on that shows you exactly where the connector on, and it says the connector must go this side. But like I say, it's visually they look the same. And what I was trying to do, where I was trying to clip it on for my cable management, it wasn't fitting. And so it's like this one here, it has to go here. But obviously I would have liked to have clipped it on the opposite side over there, so you wouldn't see this part. But the actual connector runs down on this side of these fans. So if I get them and I twist them that way, that cable would have been showing on there and running down there. So I'd see the cable running there. You're not able, like I say, to twist this around that way and clip that onto there, which would end up over there. They have to go on a certain way. That is a little bit annoying, because it means you can't perfect how you hide your cables. Everything else about them is grand. These smarten them up, look very nice. So the colour scheme's excellent. The whole reverse thing is a neat idea, and it works. Sound wise, I would say it is very much in line with the Be Quiets, where these push a lot more air than the Be Quiets, but they maybe make slightly more noise. But what you can do is obviously just turn these down a bit. They still push more air than the Be Quiets, and then they make the same sound. So you can have them the same volume as the Be Quiets, and they move more sound. Sorry, and they move more air even. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. Really happy with it. I will mess about and do more videos and such, but at this moment in time, yeah, fans excellent, Better than I thought there would actually be. Temps are better as well now. Case, love the case, but it's been a pain to actually building it to start with. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go and play some more. Bye.